Hey, how you doing? Mr. Loper here. Listen, we're going to break away from our study of the progressive era. We're going to move on to some new stuff. The actual is period we're going to study for a little bit, just a couple of items, is going to be the 1920s, the Roaring Twenties, they call it. And we'll start with a look at the women of the era because there's a tremendous amount of change that happens in American society at this time. And that's what we're going to be looking into. And the change is really obvious in what women go through. So let's have a look at it, and we'll have an assignment coming up shortly after that. Okay, now this is what women look like, or rather, how they were dressing back before the 1920s. Notice the high collars here, the big hats, a lot of hair, all tucked up underneath their hat, the long dresses and stuff, and the long sleeves. Very, very conservative in what they were wearing. You could see a picture on the cover of this ladies' magazine back then from 1895. Only 10 cents, too, for that. And you ladies in cosmetology, looking at the fashion, the style here, it's got to make you think. It's like, gosh, it really must have been really awful to dress like that and really uncomfortable. But what happens in the 1920s is ladies start changing their appearance. Now, this isn't going to happen to all ladies. Not everyone's going to embrace this new way of doing things, but you could see what's going on here is the short hair, obviously, the jewelry, a whole lot more skin showing than before, and the makeup too. This is all because women are starting to feel empowered. And this is coming from the fact that they used to be they couldn't vote before, and now they get the opportunity to vote because of the 19th Amendment, which is passed just before this particular era, the 1920s. Also, women had jobs during World War I, and they're going to have money. They're going to get paid. And between the money and the vote, it's going to be very, very empowering to them, and they're going to take on a rebellious stature in society. Cutting hair short like this is going to be a sign, a bit of a rebellion for them, stepping away from how they used to be. Just like in the 1960s, when men started growing their hair long, that was a sign of rebellion as well. So women are going to be rebelling in that way. And what you're going to be doing for this assignment then is reading there's going to be a reading about the women and how they changed, getting some background on it and why they were felt compelled to change the way they did. And of course, there'll be a few questions involved with that, and I'll turn you on to that in just a minute. Your assignment that's associated with women in the 1920s, you're going to see World War I is going to be a big cause of how women changed during this particular era. And that is a war that we will be getting into and looking at and studying a little bit later this year. But there's other things going on as well that's going to cause women to change, and also information in here about how they changed, how they actually changed. Smoking, drinking, and dancing, all things they didn't do before, and actually becoming more sexually active, mostly due to more availability of contraception. But you could read into this article and see what that's all about. And then down here, of course, you're going to see the actual assignment, the actual questions that you have to answer. So here you go. This is what you got to do this week, and get the work done. Keep getting that work done. Keep those grades up, and have yourself a good one.